Hello everyone and welcome to CFC Fan TV. This is our Europa League preview. We are playing who? How do you pronounce it, Raw?
BATE Borisov.
Okay, very, very good. They're a Belarus team and they're actually quite a good team, actually.
Well,
They won 12 consecutive titles if you read up online.
Oh, you've been doing her research. They played Arsenal. They're regularly in this competition. They played Arsenal last year and they're going to know what they're doing. They're going to be looking at this group thinking that they have a chance of getting through. And we need to win. There's no two ways about it. We really do need to win. I know that a lot of people disregard this competition. I'm not in that camp at all. I really, really hope that we go to Baku in May and lift the trophy. I really do. Yeah. So let's make sure that we get a win. It's a home game and there's no reason why we shouldn't, as long as we get it right, as long as we concentrate, give them the respect that they deserve. And
well, of course, we've only really won our games by 1-0. We're sort of scraping by as it is. To an extent. So I wouldn't say the team we've put out, which you'll see in a minute, is our team obviously, but it's actually a realistic team. So although we'll reference it now, a lot of you would like to see more of the youngsters play. To me, they're not going to put in the team, so it would be a bit unrealistic for us to put that in our preview.
Yeah, well, it's not going to happen because I think that the club, Chelsea, one of the biggest assets to Chelsea, and something that I'm very proud of, is our record in cup competitions. We always take them seriously. We always give them huge respect.
Which is really good.
We've never done what Manchester United did in '99, which is pull out of a competition. We've never done what Arsenal have done, which is completely disregard a competition and play the kids. We've always taken it very seriously. And I think that's a club thing. So Sarri has come in and seems to be doing exactly that because from what we've seen so far, he doesn't seem too keen on experimenting or giving like the youth a game in this competition. So I think that we're going to see a really strong team. And I don't think that we're going to see any of the youngsters start. I think you can make a case for Ethan Ampadu starting. I think he's a very cultured football player and I'd like to see more of him.
But I'd love to see more of Hudson-Odoi. Like, he's so impressed me. When I was in Vegas over the summer and I was watching on television, he so impressed me. And I thought, he's one of the best players on the pitch. So it is a bit of a shame, but I think Sarri,
Their time will come. And
I think at the moment, though, Sarri is just trying to, number one, keep his job by putting up the best team he can and trying to find his best starting 11. And to do that, unfortunately, you can't really be experimenting too much with other players that, not even your reserve, players that haven't really had much of a look in at all so far. So.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think that we're going to play a really strong team. I think that it's important because in the last game at Stamford Bridge, we didn't play well. It was definitely our most uninspiring game this season. And I think we want to put that right. Yep. I think it's really important that we have a strong, solid performance in Europe now. We've obviously got a massive game on Sunday against Burnley. So let's get out at Stamford Bridge, get a couple of early goals, really try and light up the place. And
I love the Europa League. I actually really like it. Look, I have a great time. I've got some very lovely memories.
I completely agree, Sophie. Look, we're not idiots. We know it's not the Champions League. We'd love to be in the Champions League, but we're not. But I sometimes think that Chelsea fans, I just think, who do you think we are? Chelsea didn't win a trophy for 25 years, and then you've got some Chelsea fans going sneery about this competition. I'm not taking it seriously. I don't care if we win it or not. I'm like, are you an idiot? We didn't win a trophy for 25 years. We didn't play European football for 25 years.
Maybe I think, to me, before we were actually in it the first time round, I was very unmotivated, and I thought, oh God, before we were even in it, I was like, oh, what's this? But once you're actually in it, and I can tell you when I was in Amsterdam, it was no different to any other final. It was no different to any other game. It was a European trophy. It was a huge deal.
Of course.
So, and I love the fact that we don't prioritise, to an extent we prioritise the Premier League, and we are going to put out a B team. But to me, actually, it's very important that we have a strong B team and that we have a strong network. We have a strong team in general.
So you've got to think. Okay, so we went 20 odd years without any European football. If you look back, if you're too young to remember those days, if you look back at the game against Bruges, it was like Stamford Bridge was on fire. It was on absolute fire. If you look at the game against Zaragoza, it was on fire. And then a few years later, when we actually won it, we played Vicenza at home. Mark Hughes, this is why I will never give Mark Hughes any grief and why I will always hold him in such high regard when he comes back to Stamford Bridge. We lost 1-0 away. We then went 1-0 down at home. And then we won and we went through. We won the home game 3-1. And Mark Hughes dragged us to that victory. It was exceptional. And I remember those days. I really do. And I think that a lot of Chelsea fans do. And that's why I just can't empathise with anyone who goes, it's only the Europa League, who cares?
No,
it's a competition. It's a cup competition.
It's a European competition. Yeah, of course we are. So our team is up now. As you can see, we have made a few changes here and there, which is important. Do you know why it's important for me to actually make rotations in the team anyways?
Tell me why.
When we get to a final, you want to know that you never know, we could be hit with 3 or 4 injuries. I mean, the Champions League final says that we have players not allowed to play and whatever else, and so you really need a team that's going to gel together. And I don't think Champions League final back in the day was like something that we're not going to probably ever see again. You know, us having that sort of team come together. I don't think we have the sort of players that where we could afford to have that many injuries and players out. So I think having a strong B team is quite important. And I think
it's also important to the A team. It's also important to give them a rest. Like the fact that we haven't picked Eden Hazard here is really good news, because we're playing Burnley. We're going to need him to be at his mercurial best.
Yeah.
So let's give him a rest, and hopefully when we play against Burnley, he'll be rested up. You know, he'll be fresh.
So we'll start with the back line though. We've got Kepa in goal, obviously, and then we have Dave on the right, Emerson on the left, and we have Cahill and Rudiger in. Cahill's been put in. I mean, apparently he's thinking about leaving, so I mean he has to start. I don't want to take Rudiger out of the team because I think he's probably our only.
Yeah, he's our best defender at the moment.
Yeah, he's our best defender at the moment, so I think I want to definitely keep him in there. I don't think we need Alonso for this game. Obviously, I would like to know that he's an option.
Also, Alonso, I mean, you know, I've always backed him highly, but I thought he was shoddy against United.
Yeah.
I actually thought he was responsible for both goals. So I think that it's important that he plays for his place and realises that somebody is chomping at the bit to get in ahead of him.
Yeah, totally. Okay, and then we've kept Dave on the right. I don't think we have another suitable option to rotate him, although, again, I don't think he had the best game against United.
You could make a case for Victor Moses.
I still wouldn't do it. I still think if we're taking this completely seriously,
I think he needs to play in a different way to Marcos Alonso, because Marcos Alonso's been playing pretty well, but had a terrible game and therefore needs to wake up. I think Azpilicueta needs to find some form. Yeah, he needs the game time.
Yeah, okay. And then we're going to go to the middle of the field. We have put Ross Barkley in to start, which I'm very, very excited about, and I think a player that's on his sort of form at the moment, he's so confident. I want to keep that going. I don't really want to drop him. Burnley's important, but I think he's still capable of doing both.
Yeah, for sure. And I still don't think he'll start against. I think he's been playing really well, Barkley. I'm delighted with him, and he is an absolute diamond. But I don't think he'll start against Burnley. But it's important that he starts here. He's found his goal-scoring boots, and I think this midfield, Fabregas, Kante, Barkley, is very strong. You know, so considering that we're resting players here and trying to.
But also, if he's not starting every game, if he's not started every game of the season, he doesn't really necessarily need to be rested. You know, the players that need to be rested would be the likes of Hazard
and Barkley's just going to be desperate to play football. You know, we bought him. He was injured. He's going to be loving this period of his career. I think this is probably one of he's had some good times at Everton, but I think he's really getting the plaudits now. I think he's going to be loving it. He's playing with some great players. He's playing in European competition, and I think I'm excited for him in this game because. Yeah, if he can just, build on the momentum that we saw against Manchester United, against BATE Borisov, it's going to be good, really good.
Then we've gone with Kante. Now, Rory asked me, do we put Kante in? But I said yes, because I do feel like he's the spine of the team. We are just going through. If we want to take this competition seriously, I just don't feel like we can leave him out of it.
Yeah, and certainly, you can't leave him out when you've got Barkley and Fabregas, because
we've got Fabregas in there too, yeah.
Barkley always, his first thought is forward, which is great.
Yeah.
And Fabregas, his first thought may not always be forward, but he doesn't have the legs to get back.
Not only that as well, but Fabregas hasn't really featured much this season as well, so putting him in with yet another change wouldn't really make a lot of sense.
Agreed.
Okay, and then we're going to move further up forward, where,
forward.
What did I say?
You say one syllable. You did it in the last video as well, forward.
Forward, yeah.
Forward.
Rory, we just come from different parts of the world. Why is he so aggressive these days?
It's a two-syllable word, forward.
Moving further up front...
I was amazed because you did it on that other video. I thought, did I hear that right?
Yeah, and then we've gone with Pedro. I love Pedro. Again, he hasn't. Why are you laughing at me?
No, Sammy was making me laugh.
Oh, okay. Why are you making Rory laugh, Sammy? Fire our cameraman. No, I'm joking. Fire you though. Okay, so no, we've gone with Pedro. I love Pedro. There's no reason not to put him in this game. He hasn't had a lot of game time since he's been sort of injured-ish.
Yeah, and he got a knock, didn't he, when we played in Greece? And it's a shame because I think that he's going to be a really big player for us this season. I still think he will be. We just need him to find a bit of form, find a bit of fitness, and yeah, this is the perfect game actually to blend him back in because Willian hasn't been playing particularly well, and I think that actually our best team is Pedro, Hazard, Giroud. That's our best team.
Yeah, definitely.
So we need Pedro to be firing and just to take the burden away from Willian a bit.
And then on the other side?
On the other side, we've gone for Willian.
Yes, we have done very well.
Willian.
With
So,
we have gone for Willian. Again, reason being, I don't think Willian has had the most amazing games this season. He's come under a lot of criticism from the fans. I always try and take on board what you guys say to me in the interviews, and the reception for the most part hasn't been, it's not been really nasty, but it's not been the best. So I think again we need to put him in because I don't think he needs a rest. I think he needs to get more game time to fix the errors he's making.
Yeah, and he's a really good player, Willian. He has his moments, of course, but like this opposition will be terrified of him. Like absolutely terrified. Yeah. So he will be fine in this game, I'm sure of that. And then up front we're playing Morata.
Now listen, if you've seen our video already, you would know that we're talking about our terrible options up front and this, that, and the other, and you'd be very surprised to put him in. But we put him in purely on the fact that we want Giroud to start on Sunday. And if there are people that still want to fight Morata's case, this is the game that you're going to put him in, because this is going to be not that the Europa League isn't easy, but we're facing at the moment in this group stage easier opponents. So if there's any chance of him scoring, it's going to be in these games.
Absolutely. Look, yeah,
come
fine.
on.
Look, if he is ever to find any form or become a shadow of the player that I think he could have become, then it's games like this. This is his level. I think I wouldn't be surprised if he does score, but then for me it will certainly be Giroud playing against Burnley.
100%. Okay, so there is our team. Please comment below. Have we got the team right? We apologise if we haven't put enough youngsters in there. We wanted to be sort of realistic, didn't we? Yeah. Overall, to an extent. So comment below. Let us know what your team is, and we will see you all at the bridge on Thursday.